the Too Many Hats podcast with your hosts with the most, Tony and Lavelle. Every morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. We also have Queen Watkins with Clock That P. Tune in with us and have a great time. Let's talk about it right here. Too Many Hats podcast.
Top of the morning to you, my good people. Happy Monday, man. This is Magical Monday today. On this beautiful Monday. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, man. It's your host with the most, Tony Mays, Lavelle Salter. What it do, my guy?
What's up? Oh, wow.
Yeah, man. I got questions. I need answers. I got questions today, and I need answers. I discovered something that was actually a thing, and I didn't really know. But I did discover something that was actually a thing. So let me ask you a question, Olivia. In your honest opinion, what is the difference between me going on Google or Reddit or one of those things and doing a review of something I've experienced, a company or vacation or country or whatever, food, going on one of those and doing a review versus me going on social media, typing out something and talking about my experience? Is there really a difference in it?
Nope.
So when you read a Google review, right, and you go on a particular, let's say you looking for some, let's bring it a little home for you. You looking for some musical equipment for your DJing,
Mm-hmm.
and you own Music 123. And
Okay.
you look at a board and you said, let me see what the reviews say. So you go to the reviews and people share their experience with that particular piece of equipment. Do you go on the review under them and say, nigga, you lying? I got one and or you just look at the reviews and you look at them and go on about your business. And then you decide to purchase or not purchase.
I don't say nothing on it now because the majority of the time you can't say nothing on it.
Well, you could actually do a review and then say, unlike such and such and such, they lying, But people don't do that, is what I'm saying.
No. Mm-mm. You can't. You suppose you're not supposed to be able to get a review to after you purchase the product.
So
I use the service.
So if you so now you purchased it.
Mm-hmm.
You purchased the item,
Right.
and you had maybe not just with the item itself, but you may have had a bad experience with you got the item, it was missing a cord, you reached out to customer service and had a bad experience with customer service. And so you put your experience on social media. I bought this thing and put a picture of it, and I went on social media. I mean, I went on their customer service, talked to them, and man, they never sent me the cord. Now I got a piece of equipment, and you do your review on social media. And somebody comes on your post and just random, I'm sick of y'all. Y'all always. What have that got to do with my experience with this company, organization, product, service, whatever?
Don't get nothing to do with it.
So why do it? Good morning, Paulette.
Just because you can, it kind of remind me of an individual that used to come on our lives back in the day, the bullshit. Because he think he just say whatever the hell he
It's
wants to
just
say.
the weirdest stuff in the world to me. It's the weirdest stuff. in the world to me. Your experience is your experience. My experience is my experience. I would never go on anybody's post and call them or repost it and call them a lie.
Hold on.
My thing is, whatever your experience is your experience. Now, I may repost what you said and say, wow, man, they had an experience, man. My experience was different, and tell them what my experience was. But I'm not gonna ever call anybody a lie or call somebody out their name because of some experience they had. Now, this is what I also discovered. I do understand that some people go on social media and they make the post or whatever, but they actually tag the company or whoever they had the issue with. They tag that company in their particular post, and then that company may come back and say, well, hey, what can we do to make that situation better? We were unaware of that situation, whatever. So that has happened because I've done that in the past where I had a bad review, not really necessarily a bad review, but a review on a particular product, and then the company came back and said, hey, how can we make this better for you? So I do understand that, but I think it's kind of a different when you actually tagging a business in your review because you want that business to see that you had a issue, right? Yeah. So I went to old trusty. Let me see what Paulette says first. She said that's a personal opinion. Sometimes the person don't know how to use a product, so their review is not true to the product. But that's their experience. Whatever their experience is. So I cannot tell you that they didn't have whatever experience they had. I mean, I can't come on they post and say whatever experience they had, they didn't have it. Now, I can buy a product and it works perfectly fine. Lavelle can buy the same product and it don't work the way it's supposed to. He has a right to say, hey, this product, I purchased this product or service and it did not work the way that like it was supposed to work, and my review on it is trash. That's his review. That's his experience with it. My review makes something. That's why you look at all the different reviews. You can look at 30. Hey, this is a superb product. Then you see 3 or 4. It was trash, man. It didn't work when I got it, and blah 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 blah. You can't say that didn't happen to him.
Yeah, that's why depending on the product and the service, sometimes they do a thing where they ask you for the benefits and the what's another word? They ask for the benefits of the product and the I can't think of the other word they use on the product. The benefits and something else. I think what it is, right? You reviewing that product.
I just think that like when we did that has to be mindful. Like I treat people's social media reviews of products and service or whatever the same way I kind of do Google reviews. I look at them, and then if I had a different experience, I might post my different experience and say, well, well, that's crazy. I had this review. I hate you had that, but that for me it was this. And or I don't say nothing. It's one of the two. I'm gonna either say, hey, this was good for me, or whatever. But I'm never gonna discount or try to say what happened to you didn't happen to you, or it wasn't your experience, because I don't know that. So I kind of get what Paulette was saying. Sometimes people just don't know how to, especially if it's a product or something, and maybe they don't know how to fully work the product or don't understand or didn't, then that's different. But still, it's still their experience. I'm still not gonna say you shouldn't say it's trash because you don't know how to use it. That's just their experience. Maybe they had one similar from a different brand that was easier or more user friendly.
Well, I ain't gonna They don't just say black folks. I ain't gonna be like that. But majority of individuals when they purchase anything, you don't never read the instructions.
I got a son like that. He buy something before we put together. He don't read no instructions.
We look at the box.
He look at the picture on the box. And boy, if it ain't got no picture on the box or no picture on the front of the instructions, but you might put that sucker together, one leg be leaning. He's like, oh, I need to flip that around. I'm like, but you know already, if you had read the instructions, you wouldn't. Man, that joker
Remember
is
them days
bad
that
about
boy,
that.
we had to put all that stuff together, man, all the time. Them displays and stuff.
Yeah. Hey, you remember? I don't know if you remember the cat we had that put that. He put the coffee table legs on the end table leg.
That was
And that jump
Mario.
was locked to the sideways.
That was Mario.
No, it wasn't Mario. It was. I'm trying to think of the dude's name though. He had a funny name. Dude, he was a real smart dude, wore glasses.
No,
And
I
I'm
ain't
sitting
talking
there
about, I
looking
ain't
at
talking about the Mario Falcon. I'm talking about we had another dude named Mario. He was kind of slow.
him.
Hey, Tony.
He put it together, and I'm sitting there looking at him. I said, "So look at that. So tell me what's wrong with that." I just put it together like I said, "Bro, it's leaning. You got 2 tall legs, 2 short legs. That's not telling you something." Like, boy, you know, we try to say common sense ain't coming, baby.
No.
So this what I got this morning though. I kind of read this morning, which was it says Google reviews and personal social media reviews, like those on Facebook or Instagram, differ significantly in purpose, visibility, and reliability. Google reviews primarily focus on providing a platform for users to rate and review businesses, appearing prominently in search results alongside of business listings. Social media reviews, on the other hand, are embedded with the dynamic social environment, often appearing in users' feeds and neighborhood groups, making them more integrated with personal interactions and word of mouth recommendations. It said Google reviews primarily for the rating, reviewing the business off a centralized platform for feedback. Visibility directly tied to a business online presence and search results, making them highly visible to potential customers. Reliability, while Google aims for authenticity, the open nature of the platform can make it vulnerable to fake or biased reviews. Typically, they use a star rating system like 1 to 5 stars with the optional written feedback. Yeah. And then integration reviews are often associated with a user's Google account and may include their real name. On the other hand, social media reviews, the purpose is a little different. It says for more informal and often part of general user generated content reflecting personal experiences and recommendations. Let me say that again. Reflecting personal experiences and recommendations. My personal experience is my personal experience. It's not your experience. It's mine. So if I write a review based on or just I don't necessarily I wouldn't even call it a review. It's just me putting out there how I feel about a certain thing. That's my and it's based on my experience, is my experience. Visibility, influenced by user social network and engagement of the platform, making them more likely to be seen by followers and friends. Can be more subjective and influenced by personal relationships and social dynamics. True, also true. Uh, vary depending on the platform, ranging from written posts to image and video testimonials, often tied to a user's social media profile and can be shared and reshared within their network. This is the key differences. Context. Google reviews are contextually tied to a business online presence, while social media reviews are part of a broader social conversation. Intention. Google reviews are often used for making purchase purchasing decisions, while social media reviews can be more about sharing personal experience and building social proof. Trust. Google reviews can be perceived as more reliable due to their association with the business listings, but social media reviews can be seen as more authentic due to their personal nature.
Hmm.
So, is a difference. Good morning, a marvelous Monday. Yes, Phyllis says sometimes I don't trust reviews because people use their personal feelings and not personal experience. What's the difference in their personal feelings and their personal experience? Because my personal feelings may be directly tied to my personal experience.
I,
I'm
I
I'm,
see what
I'm
she's
just
saying
asking
though.
a question. Huh?
I kind of see what she's saying because it depends on. It's kind of like uh watching movies. I know,
Yeah,
I know you and Monica very
I was
active.
just going to say that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
movie watching. And sometimes you have people who watch movies. They're like, I don't like that movie. No, 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 no. And I can't take your word off of it because I haven't saw the movie myself personally. And I watched the movie and I enjoyed it. You know,
yep,
like a lot of folks said they didn't like coming to America too. I enjoyed it.
right.
Just use that for an example. But my I don't know where my cousin got this from, but he's the person who I heard it from a long time ago. It screws the vulgar part up. He said, "What make you fall? Don't make me shit."
Right. And,
You
and
know,
and that's what I was going to say too. It's just like the movie reviews. People are saying one movie, oh, it ain't good, or it wasn't interesting. Then somebody else can watch the same movie and say, but that's their personal experience. So I don't, and that's what I'm saying. I don't discount what somebody else said. That's what they said. I don't discount it, even though I may watch it and feel differently. I'm not gonna tell you what you feeling is not your feeling or what
mhm,
your experience is. That's all what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you should trust the people reviews. No. What I'm saying is if a person gives me this is their feeling about that movie, that's their feeling. I'm not gonna tell you why y'all see y'all just black folk no, I'm just gonna say, oh well, I like the movie. It was I like this part. Now if they ask me, well, what did you like about it? Then I can tell them what I liked about it. They say, well, what you dislike about it, this is what I didn't dislike about it. Or I didn't, or maybe I didn't understand the dynamic of the movie. And
yeah.
because I didn't understand it, I may say I didn't like it.
Well, in this particular thing that we're dealing with now, talking about the reviews, and I just saw this day for yesterday. You have this, this new, you know, uh, position, if you will, that people have called themselves social media influencers. So the
Yeah.
more influence you have on the particular service and the product or whatever you're reviewing, you have the power to really, depending on how heavy your influence is,
Mhm.
to really make that product really be like, you know what? I don't give a damn how good it is. Keith said it wasn't good, so I ain't even going off of it. Period.
Yeah.
Because they like now currently the dude, Mr. Chime Time, he's been threatened by several restaurants because of his review. But that's his personal experience, like he
Right.
said. But
Right.
because of his influence and his amount of followers, it's kind of one of those things to the where you're like, his word is almost bond, which is
Right.
sad,
Right.
but that's what it is.
So Phyllis, I think this is diabolical. Like, if you don't like somebody, that ain't got nothing to do with their restaurant. If I don't like Lavelle,
So,
that ain't got nothing to do with Lavelle's ability to DJ. So I'm not gonna
mhm.
down Lavelle DJing because I don't like Lavelle. That's
Some people do that
diabolical.
though.
That's
Some people
that's
do that.
totally different than giving a review on somebody's product or service. That's diabolical. But I'm still, you know, I'm not gonna question how they personally feel about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna go and check out Lavelle's DJ service for myself. Just like you
Mhm.
said earlier, I don't trust people's reviews. I could do my own, and that's what it is. If you don't trust it, then you definitely want to do your own review and check it out. Mel said I tried to watch Sinners last night with my sisters. We didn't finish it. That's all I can say. To each his own. And I watched Sinners twice because we went to see it at the movies, and I walked out feeling like, it was all right. And so I get when it came out and it was available to buy it, I bought it. I was like, let me buy it because maybe I missed something at the movies. I closed my eyes. I don't know. I watched it again and I came away with the same feeling like, it was okay, you know.
Mhm.
But somebody else, man, that was fat, man. You seen all of the and I'm like, okay, that's how you feel. But for me, it was okay. So I get it, man. It happens though. It's people that get paid to do bad reviews. Yeah,
Yep.
that's diabolical, bro. like, like
But I'm gonna tell you something that black people are very, 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 and it pisses me off. And I'm just gonna be totally honest with you. Um, you have some individuals, like I had this individual, of course I won't say no names, and they got back to me. She said, I don't care for his DJing, but you've been at several events that I've DJed, and you be like, yeah, man, one little turned us up. And I'm like, so why did you tell such and such that you didn't like my DJing, but you was at my event saying you turned me up? I'm kind of on the fence. And so what black folks do is we ride folks' coattails. As long as that individual who's supposed to have the quote unquote influence is using you, I'm gonna ride with them. But if that person stop using them, then they ain't good no more or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It just
I,
anyway.
I always question when somebody come and tell me what somebody else said.
Hmm.
I'm questioning them because I'm saying, why do they feel so comfortable coming telling you that? I, I'm telling you, I always question when somebody because I'm gonna shut it down quick. If somebody come me talking about the vet, I'm like, hey, bro, I don't do that. you know,
Hmm.
I because if I feel real comfortable talking to you about now, it's different if I'm sharing my experience with you. But if I'm talking bad about somebody to you, why do they feel so comfortable talking to you bad about me? I had to question it. I
You
do.
got
Just that's just
you got
me.
a you got a point.
I'm a question. So, but when I look at reviews, and the reason I brought this up because I did it wasn't even a carnival review. The carnival has introduced these new rules. I've been on at least 10 different carnival ships, and I've been cruising since 2020. Really, I look back at my time. I said 2013, but 2009, I think was our very first cruise, I believe. And
Mm.
and I've had nothing but great experiences. I've never been on a cruise ship where there was a big brawl fight and all that old kind of stuff. Yeah, it's occasionally somebody too drunk, but I just chalk it up as man, yeah, they had a little bit too fun. You know, I've seen Caucasian people be sloppy drunk, come back to the ship, falling all over everything. I'd be like, dang, or even let me. I also seen black people like that. You know, come back to the ship, sloppy drunk, falling all over, tripping. Their friends trying to hold them up on both sides. I've seen all this. But this last one I went on since they changed some of these rules. And then what I said was, I got the rules, somebody else posted them, the written rules, some of the new written rules of 2025. I posted the rules and I said, I believe they created these rules to discourage some of the people who are acting a fool, us black folk acting a fool on these ships to not cruise. But in the process, what they're doing is deterring those of us who just like the cruise to have fun and not with the mess. So I wasn't saying, hey, that everybody should stop going on carnival because they targeting black folk. No, I said they created some of these rules to keep these black folk from coming on here acting a fool.
Mm-hmm.
But in the process, what they've done is taken away because think about it, and people like, why y'all keep talking about this ain't no black white folk thing. How many white folk y'all know walking around with clack fans? How many white folk y'all know
I
walking around
haven't
with
seen I
whistles?
haven't seen any.
How many white folk y'all know walking around with whistles? How many white folk y'all know walking around with Bluetooth speakers?
Mm-hmm.
That's our shit.
Mm-hmm.
So they created those rules for us. We got on the boat. The DJ announced the first night we went in the club. He was playing like 70, 80 music. We was jamming. They was Michael Jackson. Here we jamming. He got on the mic. Sexy Red will not be played on Carnival ships. It's like, what? Like, so y'all banning rappers now? Okay. But I'm like, okay, cool. Maybe Sexy Red said something about Carnival. I don't know. They banned. I don't know. So we still waiting on them to get into like bring it on up to date. Man, we were about to walk out the club. It was about 12:40, 12:45. And then they started playing some of the rap songs and stuff. We was like, okay, now you bringing them back home. Whole club got live. So the next night, we go to the club. Same thing. They playing some other kind of music, pop, different little stuff. Wasn't until about 12:45, 1. And see, we ain't used to it. We used to go on the ship, man. It's party. If I tell you, walk in the door, man, 11:30, man, it's jumping, it's party. But they reserve that because I really feel like they say, hey, let's wait till all of the Caucasian people that want to come in and enjoy some music have gotten and ready to go to bed, and we'll play this, but they know we gonna be the late bloom. So if you look at all that stuff, it's catered towards black folks.
Yeah, but I can kind of see what they're doing just because I understand the viewpoint of what they're trying to display there.
I never said all the rules were bad. I never said that. Right. I said, and some of them I agree, like the curfew for the kids. I absolutely positively agree with it because you got kids, man. Kids get mischievous at night. They run around, knock on people's cabin door, run down the hallway screaming, and people trying to sleep. So I get it. And you as a parent should be watching your kids. So them instituting curfew for all the rules that make sense. I get it. But we got on the boat, bro. We get a call. We waiting on our luggage. Why luggage ain't came? Because we always bring our own luggage on. First of all, we always bring our own luggage. This time we was like, we ain't finna be hauling that luggage, man. We finna let them deliver that luggage to the room. Man, we been on the ship 3 hours, still waiting on our luggage. Then all of a sudden we get a call. Monica Mays. She's like, yes. This is security. We need you to come down here to level 0, and you got some illegal substance in your bag. We like, what the fuck? Illegal? You got a legal item in your bag. Like, Monica, what the hell you packed in your bag, you know? And we go down there, bro. And Monica, she's like, yeah, I'm Monica Mays. And he was like, Monica Mays, look. He said, oh, he put a bag up on the thing. It's got a big sticker on it, like a piece of tape that says speaker. I said, man, y'all call her down here because she got a speaker in her bag. I said, we take it to the beach with us. No, you can't have it on the ship. Okay. So we open up, let them take, they tag the speaker, give her a slip. So we can't have the speaker. Okay. We get to debarkation, the day of debarkation, to get off the ship. We go down there with the slip to get the speaker. They can't even find the speaker. It took about 30 minutes to find the speaker. Then there was a lady that was there before us that she had already been there about 45 minutes. They trying to find her stuff. They can't tell her. They just can't even find it. She said, so what I supposed to do? Y'all just can't find my stuff? So the other thing was we was one night, like I said, that first night, I had my whistle. They played blow the whistle, woo, woo. Got tired, security turned around. I said, so we can't have the whistle? He was like, no, you can have the whistle. Just don't try not to blow it too loud. Okay, cool. I got you, my guy.
How you not blow a whistle loud? But anyway,
I'm like, I got you. I said we blow it with the beat of the song. He's like, okay. So the next night, blow the whistle. Security. You can't have the whistle. It was like the security last night just told us we could have the whistle. Said it wasn't part of the rules. It's not part of the written rules. It's my rule. I override him, and you can't have the whistle. So y'all just making up rules now? Y'all making up rules as you go? So my experience was based on all my other cruise experience. I has had an expectation. And now my expectation has lowered because of some of the rules, some of the made up rules, some of the, and the food was not that great this time.
So
It
I'm
wasn't.
trying to understand why was the speaker
I don't know. I guess we never had an issue with. They said I heard somebody else say, and this not wasn't Carnival. Somebody else said that because people be blasting. I think even Rodney came and said because people be blasting them at the dinner table. And I said I ain't never on damn Carnival cruise ship because they playing music all over the ship in different areas. So why would you walk around with your Bluetooth speaker?
yeah, that
Make it
ain't
make
true.
sense. Oh, they all in their cabins blasting. I ain't never heard nobody in their cabin blasting no Bluetooth speaker. Like I haven't. And I've been on 10, 11 ships. So anyway, that was my, me just sharing my personal experience. Mel Max said, yes, I would have been silver by now due to COVID. I have cruise a call. We go members now. So could I have cruise? I called MCS Saturday, the new ship out of Miami, feel some type of way about Connor, but now I agree with some of the rule. I guess she said rules, but not all of them. Yeah, I agree with some of the rules, and not all of them suck. If they make sense, I'm cool with it. Monica said, I personally find reviews very helpful. I read them and decide if I want to buy or not buy, or if I want to use the service or not use the service. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion and are free to express it. Yes. But my only take on it is and Mel said, right, I have my fan and Wilson. My take on it is if I put whatever my experience was on social media or Google, nobody has the right to come tell me I'm lying about my experience.
Mm-hmm.
What? How you gonna tell me I'm lying about my experience? My experience is my experience, sir, ma'am. Your experience is your experience. I'm never gonna come on your post and say you lying. I might share my experience because my experience may have been different.
So somebody from Carnival came on your post?
So somebody shared the thing I shared,
Mhm.
that I wrote. Somebody shared it, and a person came to the bottom and said, I'm sick of y'all black folk. Y'all talking about these things, black. And that's why I said, well, I said, I just think they increased some of the rules. So I said the same thing here. I said, how many white people are you seeing walk around with fans, whistles, Bluetooth speakers? You know what I'm saying? And I said, well, my experience was blah, 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 blah. I told her what my experience was. And she said, you a lie. You lying. I've been on 31 cruises. You lying. You need to stop all the lies. I came back. I said, ma'am, how you gonna call me a lie? You don't even know me.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, I'm like, these people, some people are fucking crazy. First of all, she didn't read the post. Rodney said he heard them playing speakers in the cabin, but he didn't care about it. I've never heard about it playing them in the cabins. That's me personally. And if they did, I probably been like Rodney, wouldn't care. I'm like, these people on the cruise ship having a good time. As long as it wasn't 1, 2 in the morning, I'm trying to sleep and you blasting. But half the people had to be so tired by then because you been rode around and did all the activities on the ship. You dead tired.
So it looked like to me what happened. Your post got traction, and you rough some folks felt it. That's what happened. Me just looking at it.
Whatever. Like I just gave my personal experience. I shared what the new rules were. I said, here are the Carnival rules. I said, here are the new written rules. And I said, but be prepared for some unwritten rules that they may introduce to you. So, like I was introduced to, you can't have the whistles. I override what he say. What?
Ain't no whistles on the thing though.
It's not. I'm telling you, he said, I said you can't have them. He said, I override what this guy said, and you can't have the whistle. So I said, is it a written rule? He said, no, it's my rule.
And then anyway.
And one thing I do understand about Carnival security on them ships, most of the dudes, if you look at them, most of them be Arab or like Asian Indian descent. If you look at most of all of them, you very seldom see maybe a black one or some other. They mostly be of Asian, Indian kind of like descent, you know. And they you know them jokers, bro, they have like zero tolerance.
And then as far as they saying handheld fans, a lot of times the women have to have those fans, not the clack fans, but the handheld fan because they be having hot flashes and stuff. You know, they be
Right.
hot. You know, they saying they can't bring them in there.
Man, they said you can't have the now like the little motorized fans, yeah, but the clack fans is what they talking about. That's why I said how many white folk you see walking around with clack fans.
But the
Rodney
thing,
said, I
yeah,
heard speakers
they-
played on the upper deck like 10 or 11th floor before. I mean, most decks, well, on Carnival, you got the Lido deck on 9, and then you might have a upper deck on 10. But I ain't never been on no 11th floor on no Carnival ship. I ain't never seen an 11th floor. The Lido deck is on 9 and 10. They normally have like it's like a privacy. A lot of times a privacy or one of those decks where people walk around up there, you know. But I ain't never seen no 11th floor before on Carnival ship. At least I've never been on one that had 11 floors. But he said, I thought it was cool. The folks who played in the cabin had booked 2 cabins side by side. So I said, oh, that's the party cabin. And one time we had booked like Ryder just said, we booked a side by side cabin. And our kids was in one next to us, and they had a I don't know if it was a Bluetooth or something, but they was in there jamming, and we went to the door. We couldn't hear the music until we opened their door. We opened their door, and they was in there jumping in the bed, dancing the party, but we couldn't even hear the music through the door. So I like I said, I've never heard nobody in their cabin playing it, and if it did, I probably wouldn't have cared no way, as long as it wasn't keeping me up at 1, 2 in the
but
morning.
I have to agree with you though. I think it's coming off very, very racist because the items,
But
you know,
you got people trying to defend that, saying, "Oh, that ain't no black. Y'all keep talking about it's a black." And I'm just like, that's
no.
our personal experience with it. That it's a black folk thing.
Yeah,
And,
the
look,
fan thing is something that's fairly new. It ain't been around that long. So, and like you said,
exactly.
you ain't seen nobody but black folk doing it. However, though, I do say some women when they have those fans, they can be over boisterous with them things. I mean,
Yeah.
you're supposed to pop up with certain songs, not every time. God damn.
All I'm saying is some of the rules were made exclusively for black folk. That's all I'm saying, and that's what I think a lot of people, because this is not me, just me saying this. This has gone like viral, like all on TikTok and everywhere. People talking about this. You know,
Mm.
I understand that some of the rules were made because we act a damn fool on these ships, fighting and brawling and all that stuff. I don't agree with none of that, because I think when you come on a cruise ship, if I bump into you accidentally, hey, I'm sorry, it's an accident. It ain't now for you to beef up and now you ready to fight in a whole brawl on the ship. No, it's like when I'm on this cruise ship, bro, it's fun time.
Mm-hmm.
Monica even talked about the sail away party. We be so looking forward to the sail away party because it's like a huge party up on the deck, on the Lido deck. It's a huge party. Like everybody party, dancing, electric sliding, everything, right? But this time, bro, it was so short. I mean, they had contests and all kinds of stuff up there. Bro, it was so short this time. Mark was like, the music just stopped and they just started breaking down and the cruise director walked off. Mark was like, that's it? She's like, I ain't even got
That was
nothing.
saying I'm ready to get rid of you niggas.
Bro, I've never been, I'm telling you, if and you know, I always video like the sail away part. We up there videoing, going live, doing all that. Bro, I ain't even get a you find one sail away, you might see a piece of one where my sister was dancing in the middle of them. I recorded that for a few seconds. That's it. They did the YMCA. YMCA. It was like, all right, y'all have a good time cruising. We're like, what? Wait a minute. bro. That's
Wow.
so quick. That was a quickest sell away party, and I'm like, man,
I'm gonna have to see my partner, one of my DJ partners, like a brother to me, Fred. They just went on one. I don't know what
exactly, Mayor Mac.
I'm gonna have to ask them which one they went on and see how was their experience. They should just be coming back today.
Bro, it was Mayor said, I can't believe it was 15 minutes. Used to be about 1.5 hours. They would hype you up. Exactly. But see, now the safety meeting, as soon as you get on board, they'll tell you to go to your muster station. They do a quick little thing on your muster station where you sign in,
Carnival Cruise,
and boom, they release you.
So it's a different name. He did Carnival Cruises in Port of Miami. Is that a certain name?
Now, I done cruise out of Port of Miami. I done cruise out of Orlando. I done cruise out of New Orleans. I done cruise out of Mobile. I done cruise out of all them ports.
I'm gonna see how their experience was. It's
Yeah.
free.
But
Free
we
gonna
used
tell
to have to, everybody, when they get on board, they do the announcement to everybody go to muster station, and you got all these herds of people on the ship. On one side of the ship, some on the other side at the muster station, and you standing up for 30, 45 minutes. See, they don't do that no more. As soon as you get on the ship, they tell you to go to your muster station, and you go to your muster station and check in with the person that's there. It's like, hey, Tony, Monica, okay, click, click, and y'all go, okay. Then you go up to the Lido deck and start your party, you know. And it was literally 15 minutes, Mel. Yeah, I ain't never seen no 11 or 12. You probably talking about where they be having like the water slides and stuff up there, where they call and that little stuff like that, 11 and 12. I don't really call them the decks. Like the Lido, you go up on the Lido, they got like a little step up where they got people sitting and laying, and you got another step up where they got the, you know. So maybe he called them 11 and 12. Yeah, but so it was different this time. That's all I'm saying. It was really different. She said, "Yeah, what time we hid in the shower to avoid the buses." Yeah, but that they do the check in now though. You ain't avoid no muster station now. They check you in. Yeah, they check you in, and they ain't moving that ship to everybody and checked in to the muster station. So anyway, so the question was, let me go back. It was to review or not to review, and why do the reviews warrant a negative response to the reviews? Your review, your personal experience is your personal experience. You shouldn't have to deal with contention on your review because somebody else feel like a lot, unless like Phyllis said, you literally got on that, you literally did a review on a person's business or whatever product because you don't like them. That's diabolical. That's straight diabolical. Like, that's crazy. That's like somebody don't like me and then going and see one of my bars and say his bar is absolutely trash. What? Come on. Nah. And you know, there's a difference between the way people review Google reviews and personal social media reviews. There is, they say they differ significantly in their purpose, visibility, and reliability. And from a social media standpoint, it says that social media reviews more informal and often part of a general user's generated content reflecting personal experiences and recommendations. And I can see what Lavelle was saying too. Like if you have a good mass following that really, especially if they validate anything you said in the past, just say you review something in the past and then they found it to be true. More than likely, if you got a big following and you are a heavy influencer, people are probably just gonna listen to what you say and not go and figure that thing out for themselves. They might just say, I ain't doing it because of you. Or they trust your reviews. We travel a lot. We travel all over the world. and we cruise, we fly to places, we travel a lot. And sometimes people, they often call me and say, "Hey, have y'all been to so and so? What you think about that? Or, what are places to do? What's places like?" I always tell them what we did, you know, and then based on what their likes is, they might want to suggest other stuff, do other stuff, you know, outside of what we did, you know.
Hmm.
So I get a lot of calls, a lot of inboxes, asking me about places and how do we book places? How do we determine where to go? And they ask me, do we use travel agents and all that stuff? And most of the time, we never use a travel agent. I always book stuff myself. And I look up stuff. I do the research. I use reviews. And I look up stuff and I review people and I see, look at the reviews and I decide whether or not I want to do that particular event or not when I travel there. Yeah. So let's clock that tea with our girl Queen.
For instance, they had a great experience. They went with Carnival Cruise. They said they had a great experience. So hey,
Yeah, that's their experience. And you got to understand too, if it's your first cruise, you don't really have expectations because you do have expectations, but you don't. If I've been on 12 cruises, I'm expecting for all my cruises to line up the same. So comparing, you see what I'm saying? But if you have nothing to compare it to, if it's your first cruise and you have nothing to compare it to, it might be perfectly fine for you. Especially if you go and read the rules beforehand, because they send you all the rules and everything, right? And if you read beforehand and you're like, okay, cool, hop on the ship, you're gonna go and have but it was different for us because we had a general expectation based on all of our other crews, and it was different. So
let me ask you this. So it seems as if to me that a company that big, it's almost like freaking flyer miles or something like this. So if they know that you've been a recurring customer, it seems as if that they ought to be able to know that hey, the Mays are loyal customers to the Carnival Cruise.
bro,
because y'all are gold members.
You have a sell and sign card. A lot of people don't walk around with a sell and sign card around their neck. I do. I have a little thing that I clip it to and I have it around my neck because it's easy. If you're buying drinks, just boom or whatever. You buying something, because they're gonna ask for your folio number or scan it, whatever. And it's quicker for them to do this instead of reaching your pocket, going in your wallet. So a lot of people just carry it around your neck. If they carry it around your neck, you see if it's blue or red or gold or platinum. You're gonna see that.
So you supposed to get better perks and stuff like that when you.
Yeah. So it's based on the number of cruises you have. They give you cruise points, and so that gives they call it VIF, VIFP. And it's based on your level, based on the number of cruises you've been on.
So evidently they don't value that no more because my thing is, and I get it. Everything got to have a standard. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it's like they don't value that they could be losing customers, like you said earlier.
Yeah, and then too, that's another thing. And I just really found out about that, but they supposed to be changing even that whole process, the VIP process. So I heard there was a lot of people, and it was mostly like our Caucasian sisters and brothers that were complaining about that because if they go from that system with their own, some of them may lose their status of platinum members or whatever, gold members or whatever. They might lose their status. They go into a different type of system. But I heard now Carnival has always been known as like the party ships, because it is like a big party. And some of the other ships, people be on those ships and they be like, they more laid back. Some of those ships are cruising up more laid back and whatever. And Carnival have also been known as the function. I've never cruised any of these other ships. I just heard a coworker of mine went on the Virgin, was on the Virgin ship, and she said it was a 5-star. It was the 5-star cruise ships, but it's a lot more expensive, So being that it's a lot more expensive, that you don't really get a chance to, a lot of us don't want to spend that money, So I really want to give like them a chance. If I cruise again, I want to give them a chance or whatever. Rodney said, for me, Carnival was more fun than Royal Caribbean. Yeah, that's why I say it's considered they consider the Carnival like the party ship. And I think, you know, maybe some people have just taken it to the extreme. And like I said, when they get to fighting and brawling, because somebody looking at somebody, a woman, and they don't know how to act, that kind of stuff. I never had a bad cruise or scene in the drama. I never really seen any drama either, Rodney. I do like that they changed the muster station. I love they changed the muster station process. I do love that about them. That was like all changes are not bad. It was just, and then for me, because since we're pescatarian now too, that the food choices were very limited. They have a vegan menu, and with the vegan menu, you have to place your order the night before the next day. You don't even know what you want to eat the next day. And because my niece and her children are vegan, and so they had to literally place their order so the chef could have their vegan options prepared for them for the next night. So being a pescatarian, I was like, because the last few cruise ships we were on, they had salmon as an option every night, and I was like, I can eat salmon every night. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool. But this time they didn't have salmon as an option every night. We think we had salmon maybe one night, maybe two, maybe. And then they had a whitefish one night that wasn't good. And then it was mostly like, other stuff, what I'm saying? Ribs and steak, them plank steaks and all that old kind of stuff. So yeah. And so, I mean, I could eat a freaking salad every day. I be, you go stop. I'm gonna eat salad and ice cream cones, soft serve ice cream cones every day. Cheese pieces. I'll be so stopped up from cheese pieces. Yeah. Anywho, let's clock that tea with our girl Queen Watkins.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Y'all know what time it is. Put them phones down, fingers up. It's time to clock that tea with your girl Queen Watkins. I hope y'all having an morning. But y'all know what time it is. It's time to clock that tea. So y'all, I have been seeing an interview with Jim Jones. If you know, you know. And he made a statement that said his mother taught him how to tongue kiss a woman. Yeah, let's talk about it. So he's on the interview. He's not seeing nothing wrong with it at all. And he was like, yeah, my mom taught me how to tongue kiss a woman. She wanted to make sure that, I was doing it right, doing what I need to do. Skirt. Excuse me? Repeat that. Your mother? So his mom decided to defend herself because people are trying to say, is it child abuse? Or what is it? Because why is you tonguing down your son like that? So she responds and says, oh, it's not me tonguing him down. It's just me teaching him how to treat a woman. So what else did you show him? Just tongue
Hey, bro,
kissing?
come on now, dog.
That brings up so
Come
many
on,
questions.
man.
And she did. She said, yes, I did show him. So you actually, the interviewer was like, so she demonstrated it how exactly? And Jim Jones was like, she did it to me. And she showed me what I need to do for a woman. Ma'am, ma'am, I don't agree. I don't. Now, I know some people kiss their children in their mouths, to each his own. But I don't agree. I bet not. I have a son. You won't never see me putting my tongue nowhere near him. Period. I'm not finna teach you how to tongue kiss. You better go to that girl and y'all practice when that time is there. Cause ain't no way. Do I see something wrong with that? Yes. Why are you sticking your tongue down your son's mouth? And then let's put the icing on the cake. Did you have a man at that time? Did you feel like your son was your man?
What?
I understand a woman trying to teach their son how to be good to a woman, but did you have to go that far? And is Jim Jones even in a relationship? Because last I seen, it wasn't even working. So that tongue kissing you was teaching him, Mama, you should have taught him something else. Because I don't even
All
think
right,
the
all right,
relationship
all
he in right now
right.
is working. So is it child abuse? The whole internet is at an uproar of, is it child abuse? Or was she just being a good mom? Please. All right, y'all. That's all the tea that I have today. Make sure y'all tune
Damn.
in to 2 Minutes Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. sharp. And don't forget to stay tuned for your girl, Queen Watkins. Clock that tea. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye.
I've never. Do we even entertain some doing shit like this?
That's crazy, bro.
No.
Oh, man.
Ain't
Rodney
nobody got
said
time for that.
they got a new VIP system and folks are upset about it. You have to spend way more money to stay a VIP. Yep. That's what I heard. I heard that too, Rodney. So, but I also heard that other cruise brands are accepted, like whatever your level is on here, they're trying to match match that level on there to get to sway people to come over there from Carnival. So yeah. So anyway, um that's what it is, man. But that tongue kissing thing, it's kind of crazy right there with a child. If so at what point if you're teaching the child now, like what is the point? So I don't know. That's just too much. I can't even like that's too much.
Yeah, I said, do you even? Yeah, I don't.
It's too much, bro. It's too much. Like
Oh wow.
I don't even have no comeback with it. Like how do you tongue kiss your kid? Talking about you teaching him how to treat ladies. He a kid. He ain't trying to learn. Anyway, thank you, Queen. I don't know
Yeah,
where you come up with this stuff, but thank you. We appreciate it.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
Got him.
got it. All right, man. That's our show for today, man. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys look, consider this the next time you guys are looking at someone's reviews, are looking at someone's whatever that just be considerate, man. Like their personal experience is their personal experience, is all I'm saying. However they feel about a product, service, a company, or whatever, that is based on their personal experience or their personal feelings. Just kind of keep that in mind. And then if you have a different story, okay, you have a different story. So, you know, post your story. But don't get on there trying to talk down about somebody and their experiences. Is all I'm saying. So with that being in mind, Lavelle, come on,
It's
brother.
different, bro. So hey,
Yeah. So let me do this. Let me thank all of you for your prayers, your well wishes, all of those things, man, as it relates to the passing of my brother and Monica's cousin. I'm getting ready to go in here now and get ready for the services this morning. But thank you guys so much for just just being there for us in our time of need. We appreciate it wholeheartedly. And thank you guys for the texts and inboxes and our whatever you done. We appreciate it.
yes, sir.
All right, close us out with a prayer, my guy.
We most definitely want to be in prayer for those individuals in Texas as well, in the flood. I think the count is up to like 35 people now. Um, that's just a real sad situation. And, it really makes you want to count your blessings. Thank God for your family. Uh, I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Uh, I think it was a group of young ladies that went on a trip together. I think all 13 of them passed together in the flood. Uh, so, and thank God they actually said they found two young ladies I want to say it was a mother and a daughter. Some kind of way they was holding on to like a trunk of a tree or something like that, and some kind of way they survived and they found them. So uh, most definitely, man, y'all be in prayer for for Houston. I think it is, or San Antonio, one of them. But yeah, that's a whole lot, man. It been a lot going on, and we just in July. So uh, y'all stay encouraged, man, and love on each other. And we're gonna close it out. Gracious eternal God, our Father, Lord God, we thank you for just waking us up this morning and giving us a reasonable portion of health and strength. Lord God, we thank you for life. We thank you for just being in our right mind. Lord God, we thank you for keeping Tony and Monica while they're going through their bereavement stages and going through grief. We ask you to touch them, and when the phone calls stop and the texts stop, you just continue to grow them together while they go through this process. Continue to touch any other family that's going through grief. Lord God, we want to continue to touch Queen family, continue to touch everyone that's going through anything, and continue to touch our efforts as we continue to be the podcast that you told us to be, Lord God. We ask you to do this in your son Jesus' name when we said amen.
We'll see you guys tomorrow. Same bad time.
Same bad place.
Too many hats. Let's talk about it.
It's the 2 Minute Hats podcast with your hosts with the most, Tony and Lavelle, every morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. We also have Queen Watkins with Clock, Dead, P. Tune in with us and have a great time. Let's talk about it right here. 2 Minute Hats podcast.